Hola, hola, mi gente. I am back once again with a nice little collective read. Afuera, we outside today. Again, I'm going to be outside for as long as I possibly can. Just did a lovely little yoga workout in the nearby park, and it is amazing since last week, 7 days since filming. Out here, it is amazing how much things have changed. The grass is getting more brown, so are the leaves. There's less leaves on the trees. It's really amazing to see how fast transition comes in. I'm Panchita. This is Art, Animism, and the Astros. Whether you're viewing this on my YouTube channel or in your inbox with Panchita's World, welcome. This is a nice little collective read for the second week of October, starting off with a big bang with the supermoon, full moon in Aries, the harvest moon, many different things that we can call it. So we're really starting this week off at peak energy. I had a wonderful day yesterday, just being outside, enjoying the gorgeous 80-degree weather. I went to Washington Square Park and I got this really fun hat, I will say, from a Congolese artist, Jovine, who has a company called Yumiyu, rep in Africa today, with my absolute favorite color. I love this dramatic overall shape. So shout out to him. I hope you guys also had a wonderful full moon and that you definitely looked up in the sky because wow, Luna was really putting on a show and she'll continue to put on a show for the next good few days because she is a super moon, meaning she's even closer to the earth. Her energy is more felt. She is quite literally very visible in the sky, very large, and also casting more light. And this is a supermoon that's in the constellation of Aries. So I want you guys to think about 6 months ago when we were in March, it was still the cold season, and all of the ways that you have grown, that you have cultivated your own sense of self, your own confidence, during these last 6 months. The full moon in Aries is called the harvest moon because it is time to celebrate the harvest, to reap the things that we have sown, to celebrate our accomplishments and our failures of the last 6 months, especially when it comes to our sense of self, our own sense of agency. Aries is the first house of the zodiacal chart. It is the first, it's a start of the zodiacal year. It really collectively has to do with our own sense of self. And it's ruled by Mars, a very impulsive, a very action driven, a very driven overall planet. So it's really helping us kind of get things done. Full moons are also time of peaks and culminations. So it's definitely a lot of energy at the start of the week. It's going to be interesting to see how this kind of plays out through the rest of the week. Definitely be sure to get in some overall rest, give yourself some kindness because we're definitely kind of doing it all at the start of the week with this full moon. Now, this lunation affects all of us a little bit differently. It affects our own understanding of ourself and our personal growth in different areas of our life, dependent on your rising sign. If you happen to be a Sagittarius rising like me, this is affecting your fifth house, having to do with creativity, with hobbies, with activities, with dating, with children, kind of these different understandings of each areas. I'm really celebrating all of the different art that I've created over the last 6 months, as well as my work with kids. Very proud of that, and also definitely reflecting on things that I could have done better and wanting to implement that moving forward. If you're a Capricorn rising, this is affecting your fourth house of home and family. Aquarius, it's your third house, having to do with overall communication in your communities, also possibly things going on with your extended family, like cousins, aunts, uncles. Let's see, Pisces, this is affecting your second house, having to do with your finances, your physical matter that surrounds you, your values as well. Aries rising, this is your first house of self. Really probably feeling this very prominently in your overall understanding of who you are in this world. Let's see, after Aries, we have Taurus. Taurus risings, this is affecting your 12th house, your inner world, your spiritual world, your sense of self in that regard. After Taurus, we have Gemini, and this is affecting your 11th house of friends and groups, who you are in the overall larger group of people that you're around. Cancer rising, this is affecting your 10th house of career. Hello, understanding your own sense of agency in regards to how you take charge in your career. Leo risings, this is your 9th house, having to do with travel, with philosophy, with higher education, going out there and learning more so that you can do more. Virgo risings, this is affecting your 9th house. Am I on the right? No, your 8th house, having to do with overall transformation. As I'm saying this, there is a black butterfly flying around. That's absolutely beautiful. And talk about perfect for the 8th house. Transformation having to do with all the big themes: birth, life, death, sex, also shared resources. Could be a good time that a benefactor, a grant, a loan comes through for you. Let's see, after Virgo, we have Libra, and Libra, it's affecting your 7th house of relationships. Having agency in your overall very close relationships, could be romantic, could be platonic, could be career. And then after Libra, let's see. So we have Scorpio. Scorpio, this is really hitting your 6th house, having to do with overall domestic life, the routines that you have, the grunt work that you do at home, your sense of agency and understanding when it comes to pets, when it comes to also work, survival jobs that you might have at this time. So all of us, that's just a very quick rundown of kind of how maybe the themes that we're seeing prominent in our lives, maybe the themes that we're thinking differently about. And again, I want you to look at the last 6 months and the storylines that those different themes, the way that they might have played out, the great things that we did, and then the things that we could do better, and to learn from them. Again, this is all about celebrating our accomplishments and moving forward for the rest of the year. So really, really prominent time. Mars, of course, rules this lunation because Mars is the ruler of Aries. And yesterday as well, we had Mercury enter the constellation of Scorpio, where Mars currently is. And Mars also happens to be at home, ruler of Scorpio. So the Mars and Scorpio energy, this really focused, really driven, very research heavy energy, is really prominent right now. On Wednesday, we move away from Mars energy a little bit, and we have a really beautiful transit of Jupiter and Venus coming together. This could be really beneficial, especially in regards to family, in regards to also our overall day-to-day work. These are two really benefic planets that want us to succeed. So I'm excited to see kind of how that plays out. And by the end of the week, there is also a conversation that's happening between Venus in Virgo and Saturn over in Pisces right now. And that's going to be kind of interesting to see how that plays out when it comes to certain overall restrictions that I think are overall really good and healthy for us, especially in regards to our overall home life and kind of the day-to-day routines that we set up for ourselves. I'm going to start shuffling my cards, but I also want to point out that this moon comes at a time where we are observing the 2-year anniversary also of October 7th and the absolute horrors of what has been going on in our world, and unfortunately getting worse and worse as time goes on. There's no denying that Aries is the god of war. And there is a need to observe the different battles that are going on in our current reality and the pain that's taking place out there in the world. We are so fortunate. I feel just so remarkably fortunate to be sitting in a very calm park, doing a tarot read, doing a collective read, like the horrors that people are going through. And I really hope that this transit can be a way of acknowledging and observing the really awful battles that are currently going on, and how we can use our own sense of self-discovery, self-exploration, and sense of agency to better the world, even if it is just our small microcosm of people, even if it's just the impact that we make in our family or in our office, or the kindness that we show to a stranger when we're at the bank, like whatever it may be. I really hope that we are inspired to just do well, to think positively, to enact kindness overall. because that's really what it is, and to do what we can when we can, as far as, kind of doing things on a more macro scale. So let's look into kind of the energy of the week. Let's pull some cards for context. As always, I'm pulling from the Radiant Wilds Atlas by Nat Gershberger, my personal favorite deck that is just so beautiful, really positive overall. So I'm going to pull 3 cards just to give us a bit of greater context for this week that starts off really big, really strong with the full moon in Aries. Again, really having us understand our own sense of self, our own sense of agency, and for the different, all of us, the different rising signs, our own sense of agency in these different categories of life. All right, so 3 cards. 3 cards for the collective. All right, we're doing 1, we're doing 2, and we're doing 3. All right, our first card up that we have is, oh wow, we have the 10 of Swords. Okay, so definitely some heaviness right off the bat, some overwhelm, some feelings of being boxed in, definite lot of weight going on within our cranium. Okay, so interesting start. This is the first card. I'm hoping that's in our overall kind of past position. Let's keep going. We also have, oh man, why? I can't even speak. Wow. Definitely a major shift of energy, because now we have the Queen of Wands, which really wonderful for my fire sign, my fire signs out there, the Aries, the Sagittariuses, and the Leos. This is a card all about shining our inner light and knowing that we shine bright, that we share our own unique and bold colors, and we're not afraid of radiating that out into the world. So what a beautiful shift. Already I can tell we're definitely moving away from this kind of heavier overall thought heavy energy, and moving more into, hey, I'm getting it out into the world. I'm sharing with others my unique sense of self and my overall unique point of view. And our last card that we have happens to be the moon. We pulled it reversed, but of course we always look at the full scope of the card when we pull it reversed. And this is really about getting in touch with our inner world and not being disillusioned as well. When we are too in our head, we of course can be making up stories that take up space, that aren't necessarily true. We can give in to that inner saboteur. The 10 of Swords is very much kind of a holding of that inner saboteur overall energy. But it's great that we did pull it reverse, because I think then this is a good sign that we're taking what we've learned internally and we're putting it out into the world. I would really say that this Queen of Wands card is kind of taking over as our center card. I pulled it from the back of the deck. The other 2 that are bookending were from the front of the deck. So very kind of interesting overall. Let's see, we have 18, 28, and that is leading us also to the number 1. So there, again, we're talking about Aries. It really is about that overall sense of self, to really get out of our heads when we need to understand the importance of quiet time, of meditation, of reflection, but then not to let it weigh us down when we're thinking about maybe the things that we didn't do 100% correctly over the last 6 months, that we are looking at them as a lesson and not something that we're like culminating on and going over and over in our heads, that we are letting it go and understanding that both our failures and our accomplishments are what makes us unique. The Queen of Wands also is kind of a looking back type of energy as well, but very much using that to radiate our light moving forward. All around, really, really beautiful. Let's take a look at them all together so that you can deduce your own intuition. Love the all the different orbs, all the different ways that they speak to each other. But really, that Queen of Wands is taken she's taken center stage. I love that she's here. We're getting the pull in with a little bit of light blue as well over here. And then both of the yellow orbs also really giving a lot of positivity. Also, that's right, we pulled it reverse so we can look at it this way as well. Fascinating. So little bit of like complexity, I feel, really about inner life, shining it outwardly, and also not staying too much stuck inside our own head, especially as we progress forward. Maybe not holding on to the things that we also don't have control over, doing what we can. The Ten of Swords very much could be speaking just to that overall heaviness of the collective, that overall looking back at what has gone on over the last couple years, and understanding what we have the capability to do versus what we don't, and doing what we can by, again, just really shining our own beautiful light out into the world. I hope this gives a bit of affirmation, a bit of comfort. Happy full moon in Aries, and I will see you guys next week for another one. Adios.